And here we go from the national headquarters of RT America in our nation's capital. Hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. On a night when the U.S. and North Korea's presidents make nice and talk nukes, also while the cameras from CNN and Fox News and MSNBC and even the BBC go with nothing but wall-to-wall coverage of Michael Cohen, there is something else brewing that in terms of worldwide implications is actually more newsworthy than those stories. India has bombed Pakistan, and tonight Pakistan is responding. All right, let me show you this picture. That's an Indian pilot. He was shot down, and we've seen video of him throughout the day. Actually, we saw video of him actually being beaten by his captors. In fact, Pakistan says it shot down 2 Indian military jets, and as you can see in this video, they have captured at least this pilot. All right, this is a major escalation between these two, and there's a key word here that I'm going to share with you. Between these two nuclear powers, yes, both countries have nukes, and tonight the world can only hold its collective breath that neither one will use them in this clash over Kashmir. India is confirming that it has lost 1 MiG-21 fighter, and it's also demanding the immediate release and safe return of that pilot. We have our correspondents here. We also have correspondents in Moscow, all of them covering the very latest developments as they come into us. But I want to begin with an explanation of the history of this conflict. Here is NRS producer Joe Ricci.
Kashmir is now the site of renewed conflict between India and Pakistan. The conflict is typically portrayed as black and white, between the Muslim Pakistan and the predominantly Hindu India. But the roots of the standoff go back to the British colonization of the Indian subcontinent. By 1909, the British dominated a massive region that included the current countries of Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and Burma, Myanmar. When the colonies split up in 1947, Pakistan and India divided along the Radcliffe Line. But the split was mostly directed by the British, who failed to take into account matters other than religion. For example, there was no provision for Bangladesh, then known as East Pakistan. And that led to a war in 1971 between India and Pakistan, which resulted in the murder and rape of thousands. That's how it began. But it has never really been settled. And what's worse are the ominous words of this Pakistani military official who responded to the Indian attack of his country in this manner.
Now it is time for India to wait for our response. The response will come at the point and time of our choosing, where our civil military leadership decides, and as a matter of fact has decided. It is your turn now to wait and get ready for our surprise.
Reporting in Washington, D.C., Joseph Ricci, RT.
And it turns out now Major General's words are coming to fruition. And then there's these words, uncharted waters. Uncharted waters. That is what a Pakistani ambassador is saying tonight about these attacks between these two countries who once again have ominously the weaponry necessary to literally blow each other up. We are lucky to have RT correspondent John Huddy on our team. He has extensive international experience. He's going to be covering this story for us. He's going to be along in just a minute. If you just wait just a second or two, we're going to have that story. This is the News with Rick Sanchez, where we lead this story because we do believe it's time to do news again. All right, let's do it. Tonight, the big concern is best explained with one word: escalation. Will these two countries, Pakistan and India, be able to end or at least tamp down this conflict without resorting to the type of weapons that they both have that can kill thousands and thousands of their own citizens? That's what makes this such an important story. This back and forth tonight between the two countries. It is intense. Here is our RT correspondent, John Huddy.
Flames burned and smoke rose from the charred wreckage of what is said to be an Indian MiG-21 fighter jet shot down today in a dangerous escalation in fighting between India and Pakistan, bringing both nuclear powers closer to war. Indian officials say the air fight happened as Pakistani jets tried to attack Indian positions on the Indian side of the so-called line of control border separating both countries in the mountainous Kashmir region. Indian officials say one Pakistani fighter jet was shot down over Pakistan. Pakistan says it shot down 2 Indian jets in response, one landing on the Indian-controlled side of the Kashmir border, the other in Pakistan.
In this engagement, we have unfortunately lost one MiG-21. The pilot is missing in action. Pakistan has claimed that he is in their custody. We are ascertaining the facts.
This video purportedly shows Pakistani military officials questioning the Indian pilot who was reportedly beaten by Pakistani villagers before the Pakistani military captured him.
So, Wing Commander, you hail from which place in India?
Am I supposed to tell you this, Major? I'm sorry. I'm from down south.
You're from down south?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you married?
Yes, I am.
India is demanding the immediate return of its pilot. While it's still unclear how exactly the battle played out today, with both sides claiming the upper hand, this is the latest escalation in violence between both countries following India's airstrike early Tuesday on what Indian officials say was a terrorist training camp on the Pakistani side of the line of control near the village of Balakot. India launched the attack in reprisal for the suicide bombing February 14th that killed dozens of Indian troops. Pakistan, angry about the Indian incursion, warned of retaliation. Pakistan and India have fought 3 wars since 1947, including 2 over control of the Kashmir region. Both countries nearly went to war again in 2002. While New Delhi and Islamabad continue to fight over Kashmir, the people in the region have had little say. With this latest round of violence and the heightened tension, the allies of both countries, including the United States and United Kingdom, are urging calm and restraint.
I
want to ask a question to the Indian government, that considering the nature of the weapons that we both have, can we afford any miscalculation? Should we not think at this moment that if the situation escalates, where will it go? It will not be under my control, nor Prime Minister Modi's.
Dr. Amalindu Misra is professor of politics at Lancaster University in England and an expert on India-Pakistani relations who spoke to In Question earlier today.
Although as an individual he might seek peace, although he may be speaking in true peaceful terms, but it's the military establishment that would be doing the muscle flexing from behind the scenes.
Muscle flexing that may be bringing both countries closer to the brink of war. John Huddy, RT.
I'm Rick Sanchez. You found us on YouTube, and that's awesome. But you know what? I'm also live every night at 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern on DirecTV and Dish and cable and satellite, the RT app, and Pluto TV. I'll see you there.